when I was talking to Wendy, who's I've worked with for over the years and have my insurance through her, is that State Farm has come up with homeowners policies again that they didn't have for quite a while. So that's a very exciting thing that the real estate market must be improving enough that they've decided to go back into the market again. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, to a limited degree, but absolutely, that's our goal for the future is to come back to the market and come back to Florida. So hopefully we will have the capacity to write more than we do now. But right now we're sticking our toe in the water.
Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the other discounts that are available when you get into having homeowners insurance, like, for example, the wind mitigation or new roofs and that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people overlook the discounts that they should be getting on their policies just because they don't take the time to sit down and review the policies with their agent. And so for me personally, I like to sit down with my customers at least annually to review the policies. And that involves a discussion of the house itself, what we have it insured for, replacement cost estimators. Hey, have you had a new roof put on the house? In that case, if you've had major improvements done to your house, you might, especially if you have an older house, you might want to consider getting a wind mitigation done. That will show when your roof was built, what kind of roof straps you have, if it's complying with the Florida Building Code, and therefore potentially save you, tons of money on your policy. So it's something that should be reviewed and should be looked at least annually.
Wendy, we were talking about wind mitigation and new roofs and all that kind of thing, but the other thing that's important to understand and to talk about really is replacement value versus market value. And that's something that when you're looking at it, that really affects the cost for your insurance as well.
Absolutely, and that's another thing that we go over annually. I like to do a replacement cost estimator at least once every 2 years, because as we all know, the market, the market came up and it came way down. So a lot of people, when they bought their homes, overinsured them, and also, you could be underinsured. So what you need to do is do a new replacement cost estimator, because there is a difference in replacement cost versus market value. Because when the markets are depressed, a lot of times you can purchase a home for less than what you can build it for.
Correct.
However, if you have a loss in your home, like a fire, you're not going to tear down the house. You're not going to walk away and go buy a new house and leave yours sitting there destroyed. You're going to have to go in and have contractors come out and replace those things in your home. If not, the entire home has to be rebuilt. So the cost for actually rebuilding the home is much more than you can buy a new home for. And that's unfortunate, but it is the case. Make sure that you know what you're insured for and what you're not insured for. So that's important also in our discussion when we discuss things like endorsements or limitations on policies. People don't realize what they are insured for. People come in and say, my house got broken into and my Rolex was stolen. And it's a sad thing, but a lot of times you have to say, well, did you have that insured elsewhere? Because your policy only has a limit of $1,500. And I can tell you right now that Rolex is going to be much more than that. So you really have to understand what your policy covers and what it does not, what exclusions exist. And if it's an exclusion or a limitation that is important to you, there are things that we can do to get those articles covered elsewhere or to add certain endorsements to your policy to help make sure that you're covered for what you need to be covered for.